Once there was a baby, and the baby wanted to be king because kings were good and kings were strong and kings were the best of everything. Would you like to be a king?
I would.
You would, huh? Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, he worked and he worked and he worked so hard to be a king. And he never let go of it in his mind. All the time, he kept thinking, I'm going to be king, I'm going to be king, I'm going to be king. But he was still a baby. Because really only babies want to be kings. Because
He wasn't a king?
no, not yet. He wasn't a king yet. But he wanted to be king. Because kings are good and kings are strong. And kings are the best of everything. So a stranger came up to the baby. And the stranger said, follow me and I'll make you a king. And he did. And the baby became a king. And for one real bright, shiny moment, he was happy. You know who the king is?
Yeah.
Do you? Do you? Okay, we're going to talk about the king, but, I've got a question first. Maybe you guys can help me with this question. And it's the king of what?
I don't know.
The king of what?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, if he was a king, he must have been king of something important, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have been king of something important. But the king of what?
King of Cares.
You think so? Well, caring is pretty important. You think he could have been the king of caring?
He could have been the king of happiness.
You think so? I don't know. Well, he didn't care very much about anything except being king, so he must not have been king of that. But you think maybe he was king of happiness?
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. Maybe so. But he really wasn't very happy. So he must not have been king of that. He must not have been king of happiness. So I don't know. He was king of something, but king of what? I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's got a mama,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And everybody loves their mama.
Yeah.
You love your mama?
Yeah. I do.
Do you?
A lot.
Good. Good. Well, he loved his mama so much. He loved his mama a lot more than anybody else. He loved his mama so much that he turned her into a Madonna. In his mind, she was Mama Madonna. Mama Madonna. But sometimes, sooner or later, your mama's not going to be there, and someday you're going to have to take care of things yourself.
Yeah.
Someday, it's a long time, but someday. And so that's what happened to him. And he didn't know what to do. So he went and he got a little girl. And he worked and he built and he worked so hard to make her into a Mama Madonna. But you know what happened?
What?
She turned into a woman. She turned into a woman. That's not what he wanted. That wasn't a Mama Madonna. So she left. And then he was all alone. And he went to sleep. And he dreamed about his Mama Madonna. We're talking about the king.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out the king of what? The king of what? I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
don't know. Well,
I don't know.
maybe he was king of truth.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, you're probably right. He hid away from the truth, He hid in the dark from the truth, so he must not have been king of that. But king of what?
I don't know.
He must have been king of something. Maybe he was king of love. That's pretty important.
I know.
Well, he was king of something, and I think maybe it was something like love that felt like love. A lot of people get it confused with love, But what it is need. Need. King of need. I think that's what he was. I think he was the king of need. And I think he needed so much. He needed more than anybody else. He needed so much that he made himself a king. And I think that people needed him. And that's why they made him a king. And that's why he made himself a king.
Maybe.
And I think everybody that's out there listening right now needs him a lot too. And I think they're going to make him the king. And they've already made him the king. And if they love him, then he'll always be a king. And he'll love them. The baby became a king. And for one real bright, shiny moment, he was happy. Because kings were good, and kings were strong, and he was a king. Yeah. But then the stranger's path got darker and darker, and the baby lost his way. And the baby got old, and the baby got fat, and the baby didn't like himself too much anymore. And he died. Yeah. But we have to never forget. We have to never forget that he was a baby. And babies are good.
That's sad.
And babies are strong. And babies are the best of everything.
And that was sad.